Welcome to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. Today is episode number 208. I've got some good news for you. Stay tuned. Hey, you guys. How are you today? Before I get started with my topic for today, I want to let you know some more good news. I am doing a free webinar on April 14th at 12 p.m. Central. You know why? Because I want to help you learn how to manage your mind. I want to teach you how to separate out the circumstances from your thoughts. I want to help you learn to use food in a way that is going to serve you. And I want to help you learn how to use your mind in a way that's going to serve you. So it's going to be April 14th at 12 o'clock Central. It will be for an hour and I will coach you. Yes, you will get coaching on your mind and I will teach you some tools to help you during this time. I want to serve during this time. There's never been a better time for my work than now. And I want to be able to give it to you and to help you so that you can pass it forward and help others. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to drdebbutler.com/yes. And you can sign up for this webinar on April 14th at 12 o'clock Central. There's never been a better time to learn my tools. And there's never been a better time that I want to help you. So go do it. Hi, everybody. How are you? I really mean it. How are you? Boy, even since the last time I did this podcast, circumstances are changing. And I like to say circumstances because you all know what a circumstance is. A circumstance is a fact. It's something that can be proven in court, and it's always neutral, right? So even when we're in the midst of this coronavirus, that's a pandemic, it's still a circumstance. It's really important for you to know that. Because here's the truth about a circumstance. If you've been listening to my podcast, and if this is the first time that you've been listening to my podcast, then I really want you to go back and start from the beginning so that you understand some of the topics that I'm talking about today. Because those of you who have been listening will know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who are new, gosh, I want you to understand what I'm talking about because this is important stuff, not just for this time, for any time. Okay, a circumstance is a fact. It can be proven in court and it's always neutral. That means no emotions. It's just neutral. So when we look at the state that we're in right now in terms of a pandemic and the coronavirus, that's a circumstance, which means it's a fact and it's neutral and it can be proven in court. Now we know from the model, those of you who know the model who've been listening to me know that in the model, the circumstance is at the top of the model. And basically, a circumstance has no emotion to it. It is neutral. Where does emotion come from? Emotions come from, or a feeling comes from, a thought that you think about the circumstance. So wherever you are right now, I want you to sit down with yourself and see how you're feeling. Go into your body and see what you're feeling. Scared? Anxious? Delighted? Joyful? Where are you? You realize even in a circumstance like this, all of those feelings are still an option based on what you're thinking about the circumstance. So yes, I really want to allow all of you to understand that allowing an emotion, all emotions, to come through you has always been important and it still is. So if you're feeling scared, I want you to let yourself feel scared. This is what it feels like. I'm a human being. This is what it feels like when I'm scared. Can you feel it in your body? Can you let it come through? Because here's the thing about any emotion. Once you let it come through, once you allow it to come through, it will pass. All emotions, when allowed to come through, will pass and something else will come up. This is just something simple that we know that I've taught you for the last 3 years, that everything changes. Circumstances change, thoughts change, feelings change, actions change, results change. Everything changes. In fact, it's the only thing that you can really depend on is that everything changes and that everything is impermanent. Now, during this time, maybe to you it seems more impermanent. But here's the truth. It always was. It's always been like this. Whatever it is that's going on changes. You know that. Don't forget that, even in this time. So however it is you're feeling, know that the way that you're feeling is not coming from the circumstance. The circumstance is neutral. It's coming from your thoughts. And the good news, the best news that I have to offer you is that you have 100% control over your thoughts. The bad news, you have 0% control over the circumstance, if you want to call that bad news. But this is the way it's always been. Circumstances are what they are. They happen. What we do as human beings is we have to see a circumstance as being neutral and as a fact and realize that our brains react to the circumstances. And the way our brains react is by thinking. And thoughts that are in our head that create emotion, all it means is that that's the thought that we have chosen to believe or to think, and then it creates the cascade of the model. A thought creates a feeling creates an action creates a result. So here's the thing during this time. You have a lot of options here on how you want to think. It is what it is in terms of the circumstance. But the thoughts are optional. And there's so many of them, and you're probably experiencing many of them. I'm talking to my clients right now, and I see them experiencing all their thoughts, and I am so happy that I get to coach them during this time. Because guess what? Let me tell you what the main reason is that most people contact me and why they contact me. Most people contact me because they want to lose weight. And the reason they want to lose weight is because usually something stressful has happened in their life over and over again. And every time they're stressed out, they gain weight. So they blame their weight gain on their stress. Okay, think about that. If that is what I have seen all along, this could be termed stressful. There are a lot of people right now that are feeling more stress right now because of their thoughts due to the circumstance, right? Now, for those people who would call me, they're the ones that are going to believe that when they're under stress, they need to use food to eat and they're probably going to gain weight. Now, if we know that, I know that, if you're one of those people, you know your mind works like that. This is an opportunity for you to decide right now it's not going to be like that, because stress is a feeling, and a feeling comes from a thought, and a thought comes from a circumstance, right? Circumstances are unchangeable. Whatever they are, they are. It is what it is, but thoughts are totally optional. What do you want to be thinking right now? Do you want to be thinking that you just want to be comforted and it just doesn't matter, which is going to lead to a feeling of not caring, which is going to lead to an action of eating, overeating, joy eating more than 10 or 20% of your day? And the result is going to be weight gain and feeling terrible about yourself still? That's an option. Or do you want to use this time to make this the last time? That's an option too, because guess what? This period of time, this circumstance at some point will end, and you will end up with a result. You get to think right now what you want that result to be. Here's what I'm going to offer you. You could come out of this better. You could come out of this with understanding and learning how to allow an emotion. You could come out of this with understanding that food is just food and there's no drama around it. But food, especially during a time like this, is even more important that it's used for medicine, that it's used to heal you, that it's used to fuel you. That's always been what its purpose has been anyway. Can you think of a better time to learn that than now? Do you think it's a good time to be at your healthiest? Think about that. I know I have a lot of clients, and I even said it on my last podcast, that think that they want to use food to comfort them right now because they believe that food comforts them. Food does not comfort you. Your brain comforts you. Your thoughts make you feel comfortable or uncomfortable. If you want more comfort, all you need to do is decide what you're going to be thinking. And when I say all you need to do, I know that it is not the easiest thing to do, but it's the smartest thing because there is an option here on what you want to think, what you want to feel, and what you want to do, and what you want your result to be. During this time, what if you decided that this was going to be the time that you were going to concentrate on yourself and your connection into your mind and to your body? Now is the time. Why wait? What are you waiting for? Now is the time to do it. How would you like, when this is over, for you to be able to say to yourself and anybody that asks you, I finally figured it out. I know now, after you've already lost your weight, think of yourself in the future. Think of yourself 90 days from now. Think of yourself 6 months from now. Think of that future self. Think of where she's going to be. She's going to be in a place. Where do you want her to be? Think about it now. What about in a place of, I know how to feel my emotions. I know how to feel a negative emotion and not let it allow me to do things that end up hurting myself because I think I'm helping myself. What if now is the time that you actually learn how to truly comfort yourself? And just think, if you could truly comfort yourself, you might be able to comfort other people. But comfort doesn't come from food. It comes from your mind. And when your mind is clear and it understands that, it will lead you towards doing things that actually create comfort. So thoughts are optional. The circumstance is what it is, and the thoughts are optional. When you have a thought that scares you in the moment, sometimes it's just important to let yourself feel it. But once you've let yourself feel it, and you let it run through, and it passes, then I want you to be able to look at what you were thinking and decide if you want to feel scared or not, when there are so many other options. Where are you right now? The best advice I could ever give you in this time or any time is this, and I've said it to you on many podcasts, is bring yourself back to the present moment. Because where most of your pain is when you're suffering emotionally, many times is due to a thought that is either in the future, scaring you to death, or back in the past where you feel shame and resentment. You're either going backwards or you're going forwards. And those thoughts about your past or about your future are creating your feelings now. When you can see yourself doing that, I want you to come back to the present moment. Now, I've talked to you about coming back. I've talked about the idea of coming back, that if you have had a storm eat or if you have had a fog eat, for you to be able to look at what happened and then bring yourself back to the next meal and use food for fuel and eat between the twos. Bringing yourself back, coming back. It's the same thing here. When you notice your mind off to the races in the future, scaring you about something that hasn't happened, but you're afraid it is going to happen. When you notice that, you, the observer, notice your thinking, you can then guide your mind back to the present moment. How do you do that? What's going on in the present moment? Where are you? Where are you right now? I want you to really be with me right now. I want to bring you back to the present moment right now so you can see what it's like. Wherever you've been, I want you to be hearing my voice. When you hear my voice, you know that you are now back in the present moment listening to Dr. Deb. Now, as you hear my voice, I want you to open up your eyes and look around. Whatever you see, you are looking at in the present moment. Then I want you to open up your ears and I want you to hear what you're hearing. Whatever it is you're hearing is what you're hearing in the present moment. Put your feet, are your feet on the ground? Where are your feet? But whatever it is, can you feel it? My feet right now are on the ground. When I think and I feel my feet on the ground, I know I am here in this present moment. And right now, in this present moment, all is well right now. Maybe it's the same for you too. But I'll tell you what, as human beings, is that when there's something for us to do and react to, we will. But when there's nothing for us to do and we're just scaring ourselves and there's nothing for us to do, that puts us in a very uncomfortable situation. I want you to be aware of that. When you go off into the future and scare yourself with things that haven't happened, there is nothing for you to do other than to be scared. Realize that. And then bring yourself back into the present moment. Where are you now? And it's the same thing when you're eating. I want you to think about this too. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? Think about this 6 months from now. Wouldn't you love to have a healthier, thinner body? Not because you concentrated so much on losing weight, right? Because that is not the purpose of my program, is just to lose weight. But because you started concentrating on yourself during this time period and you started allowing yourself to feel emotions and you got stronger with feeling your own emotions. And you got stronger with understanding what those physical sensations of hunger and fullness actually are. And you were actually able to fuel yourself between the twos. You learned how to do that. You can teach yourself now. There's never been a better time to do it. And guess what? You probably have more time to cook and you probably have more time to plan what it is you want to eat. This could be such a good time for you. Use it. Use it to help you. Listen, this is the good news that I have for you today. It's the good news that I've always had for you. Your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your results. A circumstance is just neutral. It's always been that way. You can feel as powerful as you want by at least understanding that what you have power over is your mind. It will always be that way. Use it to help you. Use it to help your family. Use it to help your friends. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Learn how to do that. That's all meditation is. If you've never learned to meditate, gosh, now, there's never been a better time to learn how to meditate now. Why? Because you probably actually have some extra time. Some time that you can use to actually concentrate on yourself. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. But this is where you teach yourself how to keep bringing yourself back. Because a meditation is just concentrating or anchoring on a breath or on somebody's words or on a mantra. And then what happens is your mind starts going off to the races, but then you see it. And when you see your mind drift, you bring it back to the anchor. That's what meditation is. And guess what? I'm asking you to do the same thing in life. When you notice your mind off to the races, bring it back to the present moment. You can start living your life as a meditation. What a great idea. What a great time to do that. That's good news. So listen, let yourself feel what you feel. There's nothing wrong with whatever you're feeling. Allow it to pass through no matter how strong it is, but then know how strong you are that you can feel it. And then the next thing that I want you to do is that when you notice your mind going off to the races, either going in the future or in the past, bring yourself back to the present moment. I want you to think about every single time that you sit down to eat, that it's a time to nurture your body, to fuel your body. It's a time to connect to your body. How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling emotionally? Check in and then give your body what it needs. Fuel. I'm telling you, if you can do some of these things during this time, by the time that this is over, you actually could be in a better place mentally than you were before. And you know what, guys? That's good news. Listen, I love you. I know that these times are trying, but as trying as they can be, your mind is under your control. Use it. Practice it. There's never been a better time to do it. There's never been a better time for you to be able to learn how to take care of yourself and prioritize yourself. There's never been a better time. I want to read you a quote that I love by Rumi. This is what he says. Why do you stay in prison when the door is wide open? I want you to think about that. Why do you stay in prison when the door is wide open? And you guys, for the rest of the week, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. It's what I always tell you to do. No matter what else you do this week, please, 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 please be very, very, very kind to yourself. And this is what I know for sure. The kinder you are to yourself, the kinder you will be to others. Have a beautiful week. Take extra good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next week.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast with my wife, Dr. Deborah. I've enjoyed working with her and living with her. That's right, we work and live together for 40 years, more than 40 years. It's amazing how time flies. And it's been like a little tree growing in the yard, and now it's a big tree, our love. So I would like to invite you to correspond with Dr. Deborah. Go to iTunes, drdebButler.com/iTunes, and you can review the show. And you can even give some helpful suggestions on what you would like to talk about in the future to accomplish your mindfulness and your journey into mindfulness. Thank you.